And now for another episode of Confessions of an Online Psychic. With your host, novelist, filmmaker, and authentic psychic, Dave Thompson.
Hey gang, I'm Dave, and I'm a psychic, I'm a filmmaker, I'm an author, I'm just a general Renaissance guy. And I'm coming to you now. This is Confessions of an Online Psychic. And today's episode is about worrying. The mindset of worrying. Okay, I've got my script right here. Now, I've known people in the past, quite a few people actually, and including my current roommate. Now, these people can be very powerful with their manifestations, but it seems like the only thing they're able to manifest is what they worry about. And that is a bad habit, because this is usually the exact opposite of what you want to have happen. If you're worrying about something, if you worry about money, you know, it's like, oh my God, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough money. Well, this is where the law of attraction really works. Okay, guys? I mean, you know, we talk about how law of attraction is watered down, how it's mainstream, how it's this and that. It doesn't really work, but it does work in certain circumstances. And when you worry, it's going to really fucking work, all right? Yeah, that's the mindset of chewing over things that you may not have control over. Like if you're having problem with finances right now, is it something that you can actually control? Or is it something that's out of your control? Let's say you're working at a dead-end job somewhere, and they're doing layoffs. Well, you can't really control that now, can you? Only thing you can do is do a sentence and then do a sigil and then try to improve upon that. Now, what can we do about worrying? How come, worry, what do we do? Well, I've got news for you on that point of view, and that is that as you worry, the phrase you worry about, that becomes your sentence. You don't even need a sigil at this point. What you're worrying about is going to happen because of the attention you keep giving it. As everybody says, Wayne Dyer, Calvin, if you're watching this, he says this too. Whatever you pay attention to, that's where your power flows. All right? So if you are worrying about something, and you're placing it, oh my God, and then you worry about that, you pay attention to that, that's where your power goes, and that's the thing that happens, all right? Now, sometimes there are certain things that happen, and it's out of your control. It's best not to worry about it. Now, what can we do about worry? Well, I hate to sound like a broken record. For those of you who are younger, don't know what a record is, that's this vinyl thing with groove in it. And when it's broken, it will go click, 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 and replay the same little piece of music over and over and over again. That's sounding like a broken record. Or it could be a dirty CD, if they still have those. But the key here is to meditate. Now, I don't care if you wall gaze. I don't care if you stretch out on the floor and just breathe. You have to meditate. You have to get into a point of the in-between where you're not worrying about bullshit. Because when you step back into the point of view, say the point of view of spirit, you realize that it is all bullshit. All right? All of it. So, now, one of the things that I've just done recently, as the time of this taping, I just released it today, is I've got some audios on my website, the Rogue Planet Entertainment website. So I will put the link in the description of this video so you can go there. There's some audios. And if you are the type who's stuck in a worry and you're worrying, well, I call worry a self-sabotaging mindset. And when you're in a self-sabotaging mindset, you've got to do something about that. And I have an audio up there that is designed to help people get over these mental blocks, get over these self-sabotaging thoughts. And I think I set the price at something like $17. Okay, it's under $20. It's instant delivery. The minute you go through to PayPal and you finish the purchase, you will get an email. The email will give you a link to download the file. I think it's in a zip file, so you put it on your device, unzip it. If you need the audio files only, I'll go and I'll unzip it for you, and I'll make it available. I may go do that later tonight before this video airs. But that's it. That's what I'm talking about, when I talk about self-sabotaging issues and stuff like that. Now, this one is fairly short. But I want to go into something else too, which covers worry. I'm working with a client right now. I know she may be watching this. It's a he, she, I'm not going to say. But they're in a situation which is really bad. Now, they've been suckered in by somebody who does tarot cards, and they just flipped it. They just blew a gasket when he found out that this client was talking to me about, seeing what I could do to help. And they're blowing their gaskets like, oh my God, you're going to make the gods angry. Well, that sounds like something out of a B movie that's set on an island with a volcano. Make the gods angry. True gods don't get angry. That's number one. Number two, and from what I've talked about this person, he's using the wrong god anyway. You've got to find the deity that matches your problem. And that's why I always suggest and always do readings for people before I do any work for them. I want to make sure we're heading the right way. And I use my powers, my psychic abilities, whatever, to do some remote viewing. And I'll go ahead in the timeline to see if the issue is resolvable at all. Is this a lost cause? I'll tell you that. But we'll look forward. I will go forward of the millions of timelines. I will scan them all looking for the timelines. There'll be multiple ones in which this event does occur. And I'll look at the best outcome, and I'll roll backwards through that timeline to see what it is that I did, or what it is that my client did, or what it is we did together to create that outcome. That never guarantees that particular outcome will jump over to your timeline, because sometimes we're working with a karmic issue. And by karmic issue, I mean a pre-life contract. You're with somebody, and if I had dolls, I'd have dolls, the game of life. But sometimes you meet this person, everything seems to be going fine, and then there's a split. Sometimes this split is a karmic issue that's brought about by a previous life. And sometimes you can deal with that by looking at the previous life, see what happened, and see if there's anything you can do to correct it. Sometimes there is something we can do to correct it. I have to look at it. But sometimes there's not a goddamn thing you can do to correct the situation. And I'm one of those type of people, when you do a reading with me, I will tell you yes or no, we can do whatever we need to do to fix it. Sometimes you can't fix it. Sometimes the best thing I can do is help ease your mind to get over the grief of the separation. Now, the person I'm talking about, I've been working with, we haven't got to the point of reading yet, so I don't know what the situation really is. It's very, very complicated. And the key when you have a complicated situation that involves one or more other people, you have to be very delicate with this. It is a delicate operation. Think the type of brain surgery, where the doctors have your head clamped, they open you up, and they're using a microscope and lasers and other cool stuff to get in there and find what's wrong and fix it. You don't want to hire somebody who uses only one entity that they work with. Call it a god, call it a demon, call it an angel, call it whatever you want. You don't want to, work with somebody that only has one. That somebody only has one tool. And in the case of some people, that tool is actually a sledgehammer. Well, you're not going to do brain surgery with a sledgehammer now, are you? Because at that point, every problem is a brick that needs to be broken. Okay, so I've gone on quite a while now. And that's it for this week's episode of Confessions of an Online Psychic. I talked about worry, and look for the links to my audios. They may be able to help you out. Yeah, I mean, I've got an audio there about meeting your spirit guides. I have an audio about past life explorations, which I have used multiple times. And I have the, defeat your self-doubt, defeat self-sabotage, and I have a money bring exercise. That's always a good one. The reports I get back from people who've purchased it before, about a year or so ago, is that it works, and it works good. So until next time, I'm Dave. This is Confessions of an Online Psychic. You have a great day.